me how you made the final decision, because Tripod was a reverse mainstreaming program where sign language was very clear, would be the language of instruction and communication. Why did you decide to go in that direction? Because a lot of parents out here go the Tracy Clinic direction and other orally oriented programs. Why did you decide it was Tripod?
We took about 2 weeks to do Crash Course in Deafness. We visited the Tracy Clinic, we visited Tripod, we met with deaf educators, we met with deaf psychologists. I'd say we just learned as much as we could in a very short period of time. And Mark and I, one of the meetings we had was actually a lunch with a deaf school teacher who said to us,
He was hearing.
yeah,
But
that's correct.
he
He was
was
a
a
teacher of the
That's
deaf.
right.
Yeah.
Ira was hearing, but he taught the deaf. And Ira said to us, it's really very simple. You have a decision to make. Do you want your child to learn to speak, or do you want your child to learn? And for us, that was it. I mean, I felt after that.
There were also other factors. At the Tracy Clinic, kids weren't happy. It seemed like a struggle. A parent, and generally a mom, had to stop working to attend to that full time. They didn't seem very happy. We also both had some background in sign language, Tris having taken classes through National Theater of the Deaf.
I also grew up next door to the American School for the Deaf.
Oh, for heaven's
so
sakes.
although I didn't have any direct interface with them, that deaf people were very much around in my childhood and in my neighborhood. And
So for you, deafness wasn't quote unquote an aberration. You grew up around it.
that's correct.
And I had gone to college at UC San Diego, whose linguistics department was quite instrumental, and across the street at the Salk Institute, where Ursula Belushi worked. So I had taken a number of classes in that program. So we both had a propensity for sign language, I would say. But the clincher was to go out to Tripod to see kids that were just normal, happy kids playing and laughing and running around. And the director at the time said, "Look, you're just deciding for now. You know, if you find this doesn't work for you, go try something else." But that difference, that contrast between the Tracy Clinic and what kids seemed like there versus at the Tripod preschool was significant.
Parental choice, to my way of thinking, is absolutely critical. But as you did, learned as quickly as you could, it needs to be informed choice. So,
Yeah, and I think you have to take the child in mind too. I think Rebecca, it was very clear from very early on that she needed to have a way to communicate. She was, by 18 months, she was already incredibly frustrated, incredibly angry, incredibly difficult. She didn't have any way to communicate with us. And it was just really clear that for her, the right decision was to give her a way to communicate immediately. I think if you took the frustration she already had and added to it the insistence that she be oral, we would have had a disaster. I mean, she was throwing hearing aids out the window at that age. So it just, for her, it was the right choice.